Hello. Okay, I think the mic's working now. Can you guys hear me? Wasn't working for a second. Alright. How is it going? Strim. Yes, it is a strim. Cat strim. There's one cat up there. Oh, wrong direction. Up there. CJ. There she is. CJ. Well, hopefully she doesn't fall out of there. Sometimes they like start, or if they both try to go to the top of the tree, they end up sometimes fighting a little bit, and then one of them has to like jump down to the lower thing, like over this part. Yeah. Oh, this part. Anyways, hello Aaron, Metaverm, Ardang, I'm Weish, Crown Clown, Scar Tamer, Objective, hello Manu, hello Chopstick. Alright, let's see, there's some questions. Actually super pumped about the Gehirn debating on cryo or gambling. Well, if you go gambling, you are gambling. I'll show the kind of examples on stream. So today's probably going to be a pretty long stream. That's why I made a coffee, but I think it'll be a good stream. Yeah, I don't know. Well, you'll get to see the cryo today. That's what I'm building. And then the gambling, I don't have, unfortunately, but other content creators do. I like the green. Green is nice. You bought 3 vintage chairboards. Nice. I'm not super... Honestly, I haven't gotten into it very much. I've bought a few vintage boards for the switches and keycaps. So I've done that. CJ is busy. That's good, though, because she had a hairball the other day, so... If she maintains it better... Hello, bananas. Can you please send me a DynaCaps kit or my cat is going to die? Yeah, we'll see. What cat? You don't have a cat. When does the Gehirn come out? Tomorrow. The group buy starts tomorrow and it's live until February 15th. I have to do it. I'm the only person with the parts needed to do an EC Gehirn. How much will it be? We'll go over that. Do you guys want to see the board first or go over the details? Because I have the board here, or we can go over the details first, or I could show off the board quick and then do the details. Okay, let's do details first. First person said it, so. Alright. Where is it here? Alright. Here is the landing page. So, yeah, this is the landing page for the keyboard on my website. There's also a Notion page that Control makes, but here it is. Everybody has to like Frostwitch on Mechameleon since Manu hates it. But it's the Gehirn60 designed by Bayan Lenja and Bowl keyboards, managed by Control. Case specifications. It's well under 500. Remember, kids, never let Bowl choose keycaps. Hey. Praying for fast fulfillment. It should be in Q3, so about 6 months. I'll get to the pricing. Don't worry. But it has the case specifications are 6063 aluminum, brass, stainless steel. Or no, there's no brass. I need to fix that. Just stainless steel and aluminum, and acrylic. And then layouts. There's 6 UHHKB, 7 UHHKB, wing key and wing keyless. 4 layouts. So there's really nothing you're missing. It has everything you need. And then it has a 9-degree typing angle, 17mm front height, and 22.8mm EKH. And then the weight is 1.2 kgs unbuilt, for the aluminum version. I'm gonna weigh the acrylic on stream today. And then the mounting is top mount. PCB specifications. This is for the MX PCB. It's black FR4, 1.6 millimeter thick, JST to unified daughter board. Uses VIA. There's solderable and hot swap, and there is RGB underglow. This is for your acrylic fans. And then it's designed by Gondo. And then here's the compatibility. So you see both MX hot swap and solder have 7U and 6U bottom row. No 6.25 we had to pick, and we thought it made more sense to do 6.25 or 6 and drop 6.25, since that was also favored for the mounting design. So they have 6 and 7U bottom rows, and then they both have right shift split and backspace split and stepped or full caps lock. And then if you get solder, you get the addition of ISO and split left shift. And then for the mounting, it's a classic top mount with small relief cuts at the mounting points. The top mount ensures great compatibility with MX, HE, and EC, as well as providing a nice loud sound profile. You know, honestly, I wrote this and I'm not good at writing those, so sorry if that isn't very good. But here's the exploded diagram showing all the parts. Oh, here's some questions. There is a nice blue. The pastille is very nice. It's kind of incredible to see 6U and also 7U. I agree, except they're when both options are presented, there still is a better option, I have to say. All right, and then so this is where it kind of gets, it's not messy, it's just a lot of options. But there's 6U MX plate. So if you're going to build MX and have a 6U HHKB, these are your options. There's aluminum, PC, PP, PEI, and CF. And then 7U, same material options, but you can see it as a 7U bottom row, whereas this one's 6U. And then there's a Raka plate. So one of the options will be the Raka HE pre-built. So it'll be pre-built and assembled, no keycaps, but it has switches, stabilizers, plate, PCB for HE. So it's very good HE. I used it on a previous stream. Lightning showed it off yesterday, so you can check out his VOD for that. But it'll come pre-built with the Raka Mobius switches, which sounded really good. You'll also be able to see how it sounds. But then one of the main things I like about Raka is it has a really cool PCB design where it's got a split PCB, so you have an RGB on a separate PCB. And then they like sandwich together. It's super cool. But then you get RGB per key. And then 7U Venom plate. So you'll also be able to buy a Venom PCB as an add-on, and that has this plate has the Venom compatibility. So you can see the difference here is that they have different screw locations. That's why there's two plates. But next up, there's also a 6.25U booting plate. So we don't sell the booting PCBs, but you can buy the plate with the bare bones kit and then use your own PCB. And then there's a 6U HHKB DynaCap plate. That's what we'll be using tonight. And then also a 7U HHKB DynaCap plate. Or not 7U HHKB, 7U any layout. So you can use Winky, Winkyless, or HHKB. And both of those are stainless steel. Alright, let me adjust my music here quickly. 1 second. There we go. Can you guys hear the music really? Yeah, it should be better. Is that too loud? I don't know. Am I able to put pictures of my drawings for keyboard in the Discord? Sure. I guess I'll just delete it if it's not appropriate for where it is. But can we get plate files for the Raka? Yep, the Raka plate files will be released. You can also just buy the bare bones kit with the Raka plate selected, and then just use your existing Raka stuff. Yes, I'm doing DynaCap tonight. DynaCaps is more expensive. I'll go over the pricing. But yeah, those are the plate options. And then vendors, there's Bolt keyboards for North America, Delta Kiko for Europe, Vertex for China, Keys and Cables for Australia, Prototypes for United Kingdom, Pantheon Keys for Southeast Asia, Keybay Tech for Canada, Geon for Korea, Yushikobo for Japan, and Egletsan for Thailand. Timeline is group buy is 15th of January to 15th of February with a fulfillment in Q3. Price, here's the pricing, so everybody's curious about. The lower end of the price there is for the acrylic, anodized, or meteorite coat, and then the high end price is for aged and Mechameleon. So bare bones 225, MX 250, EC 385, Raka 395. But you have to keep in mind the EC and Raka, or the DynaCap and Raka, include the switches, PCB, plate, stabilizers, and everything you need, except literally everything except keycaps. So that's why they're more expensive, but you are getting a lot more stuff. And then kit contents, I broke it up into the kits again. There's bare bones, so I'll just say the bare bones and then what comes with additionally. Bare bones comes with the top case, bottom case, inner weight, outer weight, daughterboard and JST, carrying case, and microfiber cloth, and then a plate of choice. MX kit is all that, but you also get a MX PCB. EC is all that, but you have the DynaCap internals, and then Raka is all that, but you have a Raka internals. And then you can get all this stuff as add-ons. So any of the plates, and then also there's a USB-C extender. So this basically plugs into the Gehirn60 area port on the keyboard, which I can show you how that will work. And then it runs to a daughter board. So you can use literally almost any PCB in this case. And then lastly, you can get the DynaCap bundle. So then for the colorways, we have Mechameleon, which is the color shift Cerakote top case and bottom case with sandblasted stainless steel outer weight. Meteorite, which is sparkle gray coated top case, sparkle gray coated bottom case, sandblasted stainless steel outer weight. Containment, which is a green anodized with the sandblasted weight. Anomaly, which is blue anodized, which I have here, I'll show. Cryogenesis, which is what we're building tonight, which is acrylic with sandblasted stainless steel. Pastille is tealish mintish green anodized, which I also have here, I'll show off. So I'll be streaming red dot, I'll be streaming the Pastille. And then lastly is Gambling Ages, which is the aged aluminum. So this is an example picture of what you could expect. So I've kind of been saying, like, if you are not comfortable with variability, definitely don't buy the Gambling Ages. But if you would be happy with any of these, then go for it. Because basically, when you buy it, you don't get to pick, you'll get something. These are just examples of how they could look. But yeah, and then I have to update this list with who's doing Pastille. But then I made this little form at the end, so if you're confused, don't submit it, or you can submit it, but it doesn't do anything. But you basically can use it to determine what you need to buy. So like, say I want to do EC, okay, then I know I have to buy the EC kit, and then I can pick from these layouts. Say I want to do Hall Effect, and then what internals I want to use? I want to use Venom. So then it'll tell me what I need. And then say I want to do Raka, it'll tell me what I need. So yeah, and then MX. Lastly, if I want to use my own PCB with a JST, tells me what I need. So yeah, you can use that if you're confused by all the options. Otherwise, you can feel free to ask, and I'll be happy to help. All right, that was a lot of stuff. CJ, I think she's hungry. You hungry? I'll feed the cats a treat at the end, because otherwise they don't leave me alone. All right. Now I gotta catch up on the messages here. What percentage do I have on MT New Divino Pi being made? I'm not sure. We'll have to see after today. String Pastille. I already responded to that. So curious about the amount of variation on the aged aluminum. Looks awesome, but from the picture, I possibly like some aging patterns more than others. Yeah, that's kind of why it's called Gambling Ages, because you don't exactly know how it'll come out. So if you're not comfortable with any of those options, or even something different, I would not recommend going for it, because we can't offer refunds for if you don't like the color or pattern. Obviously there'll still be refunds if something's actually wrong, like a dent or something, but for color wise and like pattern, we can't. Perfect. EC Pastille and MG New Divina Pi would be so goated. That is true. That would be very, very good. I'd love to see the lighter color of one of the game ages. Yeah, we'll see what Alex Otis will be streaming it, and so we'll see what his looks like. I want to see if that blue anno is a match for laser. Right, I will show the blue and Pastille before building the whole rest of it. Can you share what kind of finishing Gehirn gauges have? It's basically like a forced patina on the aluminum. But like the pattern will depend on how, like, so the chemical makeup of that actual aluminum can also affect how it looks, because like the aging process basically goes into the metal. And like if you didn't know, like alloys kind of have like cells, almost like a human cell, where like the metal all combined together, but there's still like little cells. So that changes how, it even changes how anodizing looks, but it's especially exacerbated with the aging. Is that a coffee on the Yes, it is. I thought this might be a long stream and I was kind of tired and I didn't want to be boring on the stream, so made a little coffee. The blue would look good with laser, I think. Hello, Inkblot. Wait, MT New Divina Pi might not get made. It'll depend on how the support ends up in the end. So if you want it to get made, buy it and tell your friends. Group buy is 30 days. Yep, it'll be from it's from January 15th to February 15th. Yeah, Alex is coming back on Sunday. He had a nice break. He had a nice I think he went on a little vacation for the first time in who knows how long. This coffee, oh, it's a rock climbing hold. See, you can like, it's like a pinch pretty much. It's like, grab it like this. But yeah, Alex will be, actually his first stream back is the Gehirn60, so. You're only born when you're on screen. I don't know, some people have commented before in the stream that I look sad or something. But I think that's just my face, so. But I'm not sad. Can I turn my gain up? Is it quiet? See, my audio interface like restarted itself before the stream. Is that better? Maybe that? I don't know. Let me know if it, oh, that's too much. That's peaking. How about that? Okay, there. Okay, question. Why acrylic over PC? Yeah, RBF is resting bullface. Okay, yeah, but acrylic over PC. Why do we do that? We went with the acrylic because STR is more comfortable working with acrylic. Basically, with polycarbonate, there can be a high failure rate because it tends to, when it heats up, it warps. And when you CNC stuff, it heats up. And acrylic does too, but to a lesser degree. But basically, like, it just has a much lower failure rate during CNC. So then, like you might have seen before, sometimes polycarbonate boards actually cost more than the aluminum version, and it's because they have to make so many more extras. Whereas acrylic, you don't have to do that. Yeah, exactly, Inkblot. That's why. It's because the failure rate's so much higher. See, if you have to make twice as many tops to get the same number of good ones, it's like, it's pretty wasteful in terms of machine time, and just wasteful because you can't really do anything with that product then if it doesn't pass QC. So that's one thing. Secondly, more of a preferential thing is that acrylic doesn't really have any tone to it, whereas PC tends to have sort of a blue hint, which that's obviously just kind of depends what you like. Personally, I don't mind. I don't really have a strong preference either way. But the acrylic is pretty much just a flat transparent color. And then lastly, like in terms of keyboards, it doesn't really affect the sound, and then durability is pretty much the same as well. So for those reasons, it's kind of like, it makes more sense to go with acrylic instead of PC for these keyboards. Yeah, feel free. Obviously, if I can't answer it, I won't, but feel free to ask. Oh, hello, Huldus. Just got some Kiki Kinchos because I do a plateless ARC60 build. Ooh, that sounds great. I hope you like them as much as me because I've been loving them. If you guys saw the collection stream, I think I had like 6 boards built with the Kiki Kinchos already. Alright, let's go with the let's look at the keyboards now. We've done enough talking. So I'm going to show the other two first. And then, oh, also, the corrected DCS Nerve keycaps came. I have to leave town tomorrow, so I won't be able to ship them tomorrow, but I'll ship everything on Friday. So, get excited. Show it, show it, show it. Show what? The keycaps? Here they are. I recently had a bad experience with a board coming from Hongtu. Do you have an opinion or dirt on them? Well, I'm not gonna talk badly about them, I guess. But I haven't personally ordered anything from Hongtu, like from a vendor perspective. I've had keyboards that I know were made there, but honestly, here's the thing. With manufacturers, I think from a consumer perspective, the manufacturer should be irrelevant, which I think it becomes irrelevant if the vendors do a good job. So like, for me, and maybe I'm not perfect at this all the time, but I think it's easy to blame a manufacturer or something if something goes wrong. But in my opinion, at the end of the day, it's the vendor's responsibility to make sure you have a good time anyways. So like, it shouldn't matter to you if I get my keyboard made at STR or at DDS. Because I don't think the customer should ever really have to interface directly with the manufacturer. And like, if the manufacturer messes up and it's completely out of the vendor's control, obviously that sucks for the vendor, but that is kind of the vendor's job, is to be the middleman and make sure that the customer doesn't have to deal with something. So like, if STR sends me a bunch of bad keyboards, I don't think it's fair for me to tell my customers, here it is, STR messed up. Like, I think it's my responsibility then to either work with them to remake them, make them with another manufacturer, and that kind of stuff. And I think that's why I think in a hobby like this, we obviously customers know the manufacturers closer than in most other industries, really. But I still think as a customer buying something, you're buying it from the vendor, not from the manufacturer. The vendor is the customer of the manufacturer, not you. So that's how I feel. And if you guys have any more questions or feedback, then let me know. But that's my take, I think, from both a vendor and consumer perspective. I agree, vendors last level QC. Yep, pretty much. Who does the distrust fall on? The vendor or the manufacturer? Definitely, it depends how it's handled. So if you received a bad keyboard from a manufacturer and then you reach out to the vendor and the vendor takes care of it well, then it's fair to not trust the manufacturer, I guess. But I think if the vendor says like, oh, sorry, you're out of luck, the manufacturer did a bad job and we're not going to do anything about it, then I probably wouldn't order from that vendor again, personally. But if they handle it well, even if the product's bad but the vendor handles it well, I will gladly order from the vendor again, because I think when you handle something properly, that shows, at least to me, it builds trust that they would do it again. And then it's kind of up to the vendor to decide if they want to work with that manufacturer again. My vendor said to me it's not his problem that my spider have bent parts and I could not even get a refund and send back. That is outrageous, to be honest. Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous, and I wouldn't order from that vendor again, probably. I agree with the vendor's take. I bought a Snake 60 from Kaziwa and they messed it up twice, but the vendor I bought it through took care of me and got it fixed. That's great. Yeah, see, that's kind of where maybe Kaziwa messes it up. Just like people, there's been issues with keyboards shipped from STR, like it happens. But like, that's where I think if your vendor took care of you there, then you can trust that vendor and happily buy from them again. I think that's a good test almost, which obviously you don't want to test, but if you have to have a test, I think it's easy to tell if the vendor is trustworthy based on how they handle something. Vendor is handling it well, but has multiple people with the same problem. Yeah, that definitely sucks for the that really sucks for the vendor, because it obviously is a financial strain. And like, I guess to me, that's a risk of being a vendor. Like, if you're going to be able to make profit, you also have to accept risk. That's kind of how businesses work. So like, I don't think you can just continuously put that on the customer, but yeah, like obviously I hope you get a fixed keyboard, and hopefully the Honk 2 will help that vendor to fix the issues. But I don't have any personal dirt on any manufacturer. So you messed up the Seabass TH 2 times now. I still place some blame on the vendor for this one. Yeah, I mean, I think the vendor's job ultimately is to communicate stuff to the customers. That's my take. And like, with working with STR, like, to be transparent, it's like, yeah, with the patina thing, it's like, I think on the one hand, it would be nice if STR could make every patina look identical so the customers know what they're gonna get. But on the other hand, the point is that it's different, and I think a shortfall in the past from myself was not communicating well enough to customers that there will be variability. So I think that was my job more than STR's in the sense of like getting every patina identical, because it's not possible, and I should have told customers better. And now I have to deal with the consequences of that. But I think it's still not necessarily STR's fault. Whereas like there's been like I've received keyboards from STR, DDS, any manufacturer, there's like maybe a small ding, something like that. So that kind of stuff is where you work with the manufacturer, and it's the same like to give you guys even how I would work through a situation like that. It's the same thing as if you were to talk to a vendor. So like, it's the same thing if I bought some switches from Bull Keyboards and Bull Keyboards shipped me the wrong switches. I'm gonna email and be like, hey, I need the right thing. So I basically do the same thing to the vendor or to the manufacturer and be like, how can we fix this? Holy yapper. Bro, I'm just telling the community how it feels to be Manu KBs. This is a day in the life of Manu, by the way. Except probably 10 times more stuff because he has to work with all the vendors everywhere. Yes, I will show the pastille right about now. I have one Kaziwa board, and thankfully the group buy went relatively smooth, but I've heard multiple questionable stories about them. Well, it's good to hear the group buy went smooth for you. Kaziwa's, every manufacturer that you've heard a problem with has delivered probably 5 times, like, not way more than 5, like 100 times as many good boards as they have bad boards. Like, it's just, it's easy to think in like a vacuum, but a lot of the keyboards, like, they deliver a lot of keyboards. So even if there's 100 keyboards that are bad, it's still a small percentage of how many good ones they've shipped. So like, you have to keep that kind of stuff in mind. It just happens. I'm trying to get content level. Yeah, hey, this is, normally we'd be done building a keyboard by now. I think this is nice though. I will go on a strike because of messaging vendors. No, we need you, Slim. It's hard discerning sometimes, which is what prompted me to ask, because Bull is generally awesome at being transparent. I try. It all comes down to how it's dealt with and how honest they are about what happened. Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's like if you working with anybody, and like if you've worked in any job, you end up, everybody has to, and maybe not compromise, but like you have to find a solution to something. We all need you, Slim. But anyways, I'll keep yapping, but I'll also show keyboards at the same time. So here's the pastille, which I'm gonna turn the overhead lighting down a little bit, because this when it's a lighter anode like this, it really reflects. So you can see, like, if I tilt like this, how much darker it looks. So I'm just gonna turn these down just a little bit. Probably to more natural. This is probably more natural room levels. But then like this is how that looks. And this is DCS blanks on here. But I have to say the anodizing looks really, really good. Got some stuff on there from the carry case, but yeah, this came out really nice. It's like, I would say it's more of a mint color than a teal, but if you look at compared to the renders, which is why I think pastille is kind of not misleading, but I expected it to be more teal, but then when I looked at it in person, I was like, this is kind of mint. And then I looked at the renders, I was like, oh, it looks like the renders. But like, I think it looks really nice. And like, it's not often you get to see a keyboard this color. So I think if you're looking for that, this is a good opportunity. Plus, it's like gonna perfectly match GMK Divina Papaya. Which, here's, you guys want to hear my peak build? My peak build would be 6U HHKB, EC, or DynaCap, and then MTNU Divina Papaya on this color. Or acrylic, but this might even be better than acrylic with that. I would say it's accurate to the renders, and like Manu said, it's going to be color matched to the keycaps. Any Manta or Nervewrecker news? Nervewrecker's almost done, Manta's also almost done. Is it closer to the Aloe Bulbul? It is. Yeah, it's pretty close to that. It's a bit less blue. Here you can see. This is more blue, whereas this is more green. Or like has a cooler blue tint. It doesn't show very well on camera, but they are a little different. I would say this is a bit lighter also. Whereas this has a little warmer of a tone. If like you've used like sliders and like editing softwares. This would be if you, the bowl would be if you turn it slightly blue. But yeah, this color looks really great. And I just threw bowl blanks on it. Or bowl blanks on it. Oh, this build is not good at all. It's unlubed switches, no stable, it literally doesn't have stabilizers. So don't listen to this. Alright. Which color would you get match with GMK Hydra? I forgot what GMK Hydra looks like. GMK Hydra. Oh, wait, Hydro? Honestly, aged. I would do aged. I didn't show the blue. I'm showing the blue next. Yeah, next. Okay, next up. This one is actually insane. The saturation on this is crazy. Like, look at this. And a lot of people were complaining in the renders that it looked purple in the renders and blue. But like, look at this. It legitimately does in person. Like here, if you tilt it like this, it looks purpler. More purple, more purple. But then if you go here, it's just like electric blue. Also, I wanted to note right away is that there will be teeth in the group by ones. There just wasn't time in the prototype because it's a whole nother machining process. So don't worry, there will be teeth, like the render. But this, here's the anomaly color. Like the, and I seriously don't think it even does it justice on camera. Maybe like this shows it. This is pretty true to how it looks in real life. But here, like, looks a little washed up. But like, this is how it looks in real life. And there's the side profile. Bottom. Are these made to order? Yes, they are. How does this compare to Synovia Blue? This is more vibrant, I think. Have you seen the aged in person? Not the Gehirn specifically, but I have the Deacon aged, which I can grab here in a second. Can you do another typing test? I'm not going to do typing test with this because it's a horrible build. It's not a real build. I haven't actually done the build yet. Gehirn this and Gehirn that. I can't wait for my oblique. I'm excited for you to build it. I think you'll love it. I'm thinking about this color. This color is actually insane in real life. Like, how vibrant it is. I don't think I've seen this vibrant of a blue before in person on a keyboard. So if you like blue, I think you'd love this. I think maybe like panels would look good on it. Out of the keyboards I have. But yeah. There's only one USB port. I don't have laser. Isn't that crazy? This is the oblique. X Max. Greek beige would look good. All right. Let me grab the one for today, which is the Cryogenesis. Also, this is the case it comes in. Nice Bion case. And then let's get this back. Actually, let's go through the contents up here first. All right, so we got hot swap PCB, which I'll go over tomorrow's stream when I build an MX build. Solder PCB. I already explained the acrylic versus PC, but basically it's machines much more consistently, and it doesn't have like a blue tint. And then daughter board and JST, and then feet and top mount screws there. And then here's a PP plate for MX. And then here's a stainless steel plate for EC. So this is what I'll use today. Does the acrylic have a similar sound profile? We will see. It'll be definitely a little different than aluminum, but tomorrow or Friday, after I build the MX, I will do some mix and match to see. But then here is the Cryogenesis colorway. So it's the acrylic top and bottom with the stainless steel weights. Look at that, look at that. So these ones have the final inner weight. Yep, the stainless steel here. Also, for those who didn't like the engravings, the big engravings, I think acrylic's a colorway for you. It's definitely harder to see. Like this front one here, you can barely see, except at the right angle. In person, it's a little easier to see, but still. So yeah. I have a hot swap socket prong get squished inward, and now the switch tab doesn't make contact with it. Do you recommend a fix? Yeah, if you flip the hot swap socket over and then poke the tweezer, you can usually push back the thing, the little thing, the, what do you call that? Tab, I guess, in the hot swap socket. You can like push it forward like this, because if it's like, if you're describing it, it's like this, right? But it's supposed to be like this. Usually you can like stick the tweezer here and like push it. Otherwise, if you just take your switch pin and twist it, that'll usually fix it also. Can you get a final weight of the acrylic? Yes, I will do that today. Is there downward firing RGB? Yes. Are you shipping with little polishing pads like Norbauer? No. I'm not doing that. So the tabs come from the bottom, not the top? Yes, exactly. The brand name pattern carving under the inside on the bottom shell is a little shallow and is definitely difficult to see clearly. Will it feel better if it is deeper? It can't be deeper because it's too small. So like to get the end mill in there would be too small to go any deeper than it is. So, but like on the anodized, you can see it pretty easily. It's pretty much just the acrylic. But like here, you can see it nicely. But it is a little more shallow than the back. Yeah. Is there a special housing / slider color for the Gehirn? Because I know Clever is doing it for his boards. I think that will depend on the amount of orders. Because there's basically an MLQ for custom colors. Is acrylic easier to scratch than PC? In my experience, no, they're pretty similar. In terms of durability that way. But see what I mean, how this has like no hint of color really? It's like just a flat, transparent color. So that's kind of the difference with acrylic. But anyways, let's go over the board a little bit. Ag grade would be cool. So it's kind of a box on wedge side profile with a accented seam there, and then on the back it has a right side USB, which a lot of people are kind of wondering why, and mainly because if you put it in the middle, it would be in the middle of the text, so that wouldn't look good. And then if you put it on the right, the text would have to be over there. But lastly, it's to match the TKL, so the TKL has it on the right and the text is in the same position and size of the TKL. So that's pretty much why. And then bottom, it has the alien guy, which look at the detail in the engraving. Looks really, really nice. You can see there's multiple shades. There's like 3 shades in the engraving. There's like the stainless steel and then a lighter shade and then a darker shade on top. There you can really see it. But I love how they did that. And then front has the little Gehirn text there. And then, oh yeah, and also there's a Bion logo there. Bottom of the board in the back seems to flare a little bit. Oh, it's perpendicular to the top. So since it's a 9-degree typing angle, you can kind of see it from the top down. But it's perpendicular there. But yeah, it's because of the typing angle. The TI screws on the TKL and the I screw holes look cool. Did you omit that to save costs? Well, those are kind of expensive, but it was mostly because there wasn't a good spot to put them in here. And with acrylic, they would look bad because if you look at it from the bottom, you would just see the threads. So that was pretty much why. And it would have been kind of weird because they wouldn't fit on this because of the thickness of this. It's not thick enough to be able to do a counter bore. We had to countersink the screws. So that's why. Hello, Alquan. I noticed the weight on Gambling is different. Is that going to make it to the final product? Yeah, the Gambling Ages one has a raw, which actually here, let me grab a picture. Manu took some pictures of his. One second. Here is how that looks. So this is how the Gambling Ages one will look. So it's the raw machine pattern. You see how many paths you have to take around the little alien there. The weight too? What do you mean? I love cats. Oh, yes, good point, Ivans. Good point. The rest of them are all sandblasted, so like this would be the rest of the colorways. But yeah, I think we should finally get into the build. This might take a while, but there's a lot to do because I have to lube the sliders, put the silencing rings. This will probably be a pretty long stream. Is there a way to get the weight alone? No, it'll only be included in the build or in the full unit. Oh yeah, the weight, the only one with a different weight is the Gambling Ages one. We're going with heavier domes. They're 52-gram domes is what I have here. And then I'll check what I have. Let me check. I don't want to say it wrong. Built my DynaCap power the other day and it took so long. Yeah. I built one DynaCap thing before, so I at least have an idea. Oh yeah, they're the uncoated steel. So yeah. I'll also kind of talk about the DynaCap stuff as I go. But basically there's a couple different components. So you have 1U sliders. So these are what is basically like the housing of the switch. And then you have sliders. So this is kind of like a normal stem in an MX switch. So that goes inside of there, and that's what actuates up and down when you press. And then there's silencing rings, which go on these on the top. So like when you have an upstroke, it dampens it and it's quieter. And then stabilizer wire. This one's 6U because it's a 6U board, but if you get a 7U kit, it'll come with 7U. And then this is the stabilizer for the spacebar. And these are the stabilizers for the enter and shift. And then this is not the final PCB. This is an EC60X designed by Cipulot. And the final one will be the basically just the DynaCap version of this. Still designed by Cipulot, still same RGB and that kind of stuff. So it's pretty close to the same. I think just the appearance changes slightly. Okay, I'll check it menu. And then I have 52 gram prototype domes here. So we'll check these out. Is the age variant clear coated or seal coated? I can ask. Bro, homework is never gonna make me happy. Where can I buy DynaCaps? On DynaCap's website. But if you buy the Gehirn60, you can buy it as a kit add-on. From someone who only uses MX, why would I want to try DynaCap? It's basically, so it's EC. So instead of like a normal switch where the force is determined by the stem shape, this is determined by the dome. And then it also has a different actuation. So like instead of metal contacts, it's when the spring hits the PCB. So it'll be easier to explain as I'm building it, but that is the actuation method pretty much. It's a different actuation method. Will the DynaCap parts in the EC kit be the new dry lube version? It'll be the latest, yeah. Will you need to buy your own DynaCaps? It'll come with the DynaCap bundle. How much is that going to be with the blue? With the blue case, it would be $385 for the full. And then keep in mind that comes with all this stuff, so all you have to add is keycaps in. So it is more than the bare bones, quite a bit more, but you don't have to buy switches or stabilizers. Also, I 3D printed this stuff, these things, to hopefully make this easier. I think it allows you to pop the, oh, maybe it's not that much easier because the mounting points. Oh, that's easier. And the plate, yeah, it comes with everything. You literally just need to add keycaps. But yeah, first up, I'm gonna add these. Let me see how easy it is to add lube after putting them in. I think that'll be okay. Because, where do you put lube on EC? Oh, I forget. I think you just put it right there, right? Yeah. Just on those rails. Yeah, no, I remember. I'm just gonna put them all in here first and then lube those. Yeah, okay. I got this. These are, I remember these being difficult to push in because they have to basically lock in there tight so they don't move. Because then your actuation won't actuate correctly. Except it's crooked. There we go. So when you're putting these in, you want to try and line it up as flat as possible first so that it doesn't become crooked as you're pushing it. Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, luckily I was doing that the right way. I see what you mean. Ollie? Is that right? Do you have the Omni-type switch pusher? No, I do not. I'll just use this. I think. Is this a prototype plate? Yes. This is one of the... It's using the files from Clever. Was that the Pastille Gehirn? Yes, it was. I mean, it's not that bad, honestly. Omni-type. I think the hard part was, or the ones that were difficult, I didn't have lined up properly. So like this little edge was kind of rocking, but when I put it in flat like this, it goes in much easier. But yeah, I wouldn't anticipate this with production. Does it come with extra housings in case you use too much force and break one? I think it'd be really, really hard to break this, but I think it does come with a few extra. You'd have to really, well, I think so like we have one standard kit, so like if you build wing keyless, you'd have 2 extras. I don't know if there's any extras for wing key. But if you use something flat that's not your thumb to push it in, it doesn't hurt. I think that's much easier. Much easier. Versus the regular silenced Toper in HHEB, what can I expect with DynaCaps? Mr. Omnitype, if you're still here and would like to give a little spiel, feel free. I think Omnitype would have a better answer than me. From my experience, basically you get a more customizable experience and you get to use, well, there's a lot of benefits, which Omnitype, feel free to jump in if I say something wrong or if you want to expand on it. But basically it's easier to customize your dome feeling. So like they have multiple different dome weights, which is not really a weight because it comes down to the thickness and design of the dome. But that's kind of one of the bigger things for me, is that you can use, they have all these different dome weights that you can try out, and they're pretty easy to swap back and forth. And then it's all custom designed to work well with MX builds, whereas like normally HHKB, you can't just put in any keyboard, whereas with DynaCap, it uses 1.5mm plate thickness, better design like width-wise, so it can fit into a normal case easier. And then the biggest other thing is that it works with MX style keycaps, because normally you have to use Toper keycaps. But it's all designed by Clever, and then with Omnitype, they're bringing it to the people. But I think it's cool they're working with other designers, like for this, where you can add it as a full bundle, because one of the daunting parts is knowing what you need, but you don't have to think about it. You just add the bundle, and you don't have to buy extra stuff that you're not going to use, so works out well. It's never been easier to build an EC keyboard. Nice. Biggest thing is it solves all interference. Oh yes, that's true. I did forget about the interference issues with other EC products. So there you have it. Please send me DynaCaps, I need it. Maybe. It would have to be the 7U menu. But you already have DynaCap. Are you addicted now? Stab housings are way easier to install as well, very quick compared to OEM. There you go. Yeah, we'll test that. I need to lube the wire pretty heavily, right, Omnitype? On the stabilizer? I think I remember how it was done last time, but did I keep saying DynaCaps? Is it just DynaCap? Am I like an old person saying the wrong thing? Got here late. I plan on picking up an MX Gehirn, but also want an EC PCB and plate, and I'm guessing I can purchase the EC parts. Yes, you can buy the DynaCap add-on with your MX kit, or buy the MX kit, or buy the DynaCap kit and buy an MX add-on. Either one would work, and will result in the same items for you. When 82G DynaCap gig chat. I have those. I have that here. It does just say DynaCap on the box, that's true. Why do I say DynaCaps then? I'm gonna say Omnitypes also. Omnitypes. Maybe it's because I'm Bull Keyboards instead of like Bull Keyboard. Does anybody, well here's the question, does anybody call me Bull Keyboard? They call you Bulls, yeah, that's true. Just Bulls. Speaking of, if you want to come call me Bulls in person, you should come to the Madison keyboard meetup on January 24th. I know probably none of you live in Wisconsin, but if you do, or if you don't and you want to come, we're having a keyboard meetup at the Guild in downtown Madison. It's completely free, and I'll do some giveaways, and we're gonna type on keyboards, and it'll be from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. and I'll have this keyboard there. Well, yeah, I think I will. I'll have a Gehirn60 here, as well as a Vela, Deacon, some other stuff. So if you want to come say hi to me and the other friendly Madison keyboarders, come by. Madison, it's 2 hours from Chicago. Yeah, it's pretty much 2. Well, it depends where you are. If you're like by O'Hare, it's only like an hour 40. But obviously if you're downtown, it's a bit farther. Two-hour drive, 1 week shipping. Yeah. Thanks, USPS. Wow, thank you, Inkbot, for the gifted 10 subs. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Missed you for the holidays. Yeah, I guess I did. How long was I gone from streaming? Like a week? But we're back. Thanks again. Any ETA for CL80 stream? As soon as it shows up. So no, I don't have one. I don't have an ETA at the moment. 14.5 hours to Madison for me. Well, that might not be too practical then. We do have a regional airport. But I have to say, the meetup is probably not big enough where it's worth flying in for. I think there'll be about 20 of us max. That's usually what ends up being about. But I love it. It's nice to catch up with people and make some new friends. This is only 46 hours and 5 minutes. All right, Alcon, I'll see you there. I expect to see you there. Was that Mechanicon last year and that was so big? How big is that? How many people? $500. Oh, that is big. I was at the biggest one I think I was at was the Dallas meetup. And that was about the same amount. And then the Novelties meetup was pretty big also. Is there default layout for the rocket kit? Yes, there is. I believe it's split backspace, split right shift, and step caps, I think. And then the bottom row will depend on your case configuration that you pick up. But I think it comes with extra switches. Right now it does. Oh, good driving. Perfect. Are there ever any gals? Yeah, there's usually quite a few. It's a pretty good mix. You definitely wouldn't be the only one. But yeah. Everybody's welcome to come. It's always, I'm trying to think how many people the last one was. We had one in August and there was, I think, about 20 people. But Madison's smaller relatively than the other big keyboard areas. The Chicago meetup usually gets like 200 people. But usually we get a few people from Milwaukee and Chicago to come up to the Madison ones. And then obviously everybody local to Madison. But it works well because we have the college campus here, so a lot of people for that. A lot of nerds. I mean, I think if you're in the keyboard hobby, you can call yourself a nerd, so. Alright, where's my... Oh, there it is. We need more Michigan meetups? That's true. I don't really see any Michigan meetups. Where's my brush now? Uh-oh. Where did I put that? The way I drink my coffees can get you. What's that mean? Like this? Or is I doing it differently? I have to say it was quite intimidating going to a meetup, especially an introvert, but I can say it's lots of fun when you're there. Yeah, pretty much it's kind of fun because even if you're introverted, everybody there wants to talk about the same thing as you, which is keyboards. So like, it's never as intimidating to try to talk to people at an event like that where everybody's there for the same reason. All right, let me find my brush. I was right there the whole time. Don't got shit in Maine, so. Okay, but Maine's a nice state. Actually, I feel like Maine is pretty similar to Wisconsin in terms of like the climate and stuff. Except you have the coast. I met Mr. Odos at my first meetup. Wow. Starting off strong. I guess I met a lot of people at meetups. That's the other fun thing. You get to meet a lot of people. And you're all there for the same reason. to win giveaway. No, I'm just kidding. I think I'll give away some night stabs and lounges for sure. Maybe a keyboard. Maybe. And I'll have stickers and stuff for free. Also, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm lubing the housings. So for EC and DynaCap, you want to just lube this corner and this corner, the ones with the little cutouts, just with some 205. Oh, hello, Captain Sterling and Raiders. We're building the Gehirn60 with DynaCap right now. And right now, specifically, I'm lubing the housings. I thought it was easiest. Well, I still think it's easiest to do this once they're in the plate, because then they're kind of all lined up nicely for you. You just go like this. How far would you drive to a meetup? Well, I flew to Tennessee and then drove to West Virginia for a meetup, so I'm probably not the right person to ask. If I get a Gehirn60 Winky with Rocket Kit, what plate will come up with? Will it come with? The one on the landing page, so 7U. You'd have to get a custom plate cut for the 313. I hope to make it to a meetup one of these days, but don't see many near Arizona. There's a lot in California. I think there used to be one in Arizona. I don't know. But there's definitely a ton in California. Which one was it? This one. Oh no, I did that. This one. How was your stream, Mr. Sterling? Mr. Captain? Do you still have the same type of packaging and stickers you had at the Chicago meetup? Yes, I do. Would you drive to Michigan? Maybe. Michigan's honestly kind of... Well, it depends where it'd be in Michigan, I guess. Because that's like 4+ hours from Madison. Actually, the UP might be the closest. I'm having a bit of trouble keeping track with what I lubed versus not. Doesn't help when I look up to read chat all the time. Yes, the 7U is the default scrambler. It's probably a bunch of money. Well, the Madison one was free for me to. I mean, I'll give away stuff which will cost money and like stickers, but if I go to meetup, will you give me a hug? Sure, why not? What's my opinion on HJ aluminum? I love it personally. Actually, yeah. I forgot to do it earlier when I was showing the other colors, but here's an example of aged alu. This is on the Deacon, and this is a rapid prototype, but it's an idea of what it would look like. Yeah, usually you have to do meetups in a little bit of a bigger town. Yeah, I love the aged aluminum personally. I like that it's random, and I like that everyone's different. I know that's kind of the downside for some people, but for me that's the upside. And I like that it looks like aged. It looks weathered. It's not perfectly smooth and clean like a silver anodized or something. That's kind of the upside for me. Also, if anybody's better at EC stuff than me and notices I'm doing something wrong, please feel free to point it out, because I'm not an expert. I've done it twice. Once with Toper EC and once with DynaCaps. But I would like to do it as best as possible, so if anybody has feedback, let me know. Oh, I don't know. I didn't know that's only 10 minutes from Detroit. I mean, maybe there's enough people in Detroit to do a meetup. 6-day walk, should I do it? Not in the wintertime, man. That sounds horrible. Just wish they patinaed the raw aluminum for Gehirn60. What do you mean? Well, that's what the aged is. I'm doing good. Let's go. The aged is basically patinaed raw aluminum. If you give me 50% off a Gehirn, I'll start walking. Sorry, I cannot offer that. I meant like with different aluminum, when you chem treat, you can have iridescent. Oh, I see what you mean. That would be cool. That would be cool. Hey, Bull, just making sure, but there's a true HHQB and a 7U? That's correct, yep. So I'm building the 6U now, and then the next stream I'll do is 7U. That would be cool, Scrambler, to do to get like the colorful effects. And I think I know I'm gonna silence this build, which isn't completely silent. It's just called silencing rings, but it basically just makes it more, in my experience, it makes it kind of more consistent sounding and a bit quieter. But after I finish lubing these housings, I'll go on to the stabilizers, because I want to get everything clipped in before I start putting springs and stuff, because then when I try to clip, it will make stuff pop out of place. Do you have a favorite colorway? Ooh, I like aged and cryogenesis the best, but they're all really good. If I was gonna pick an anodized, I think I'd pick Pastille. I mean, I like Mechameleon a lot, but I think I already have a Mechameleon board, so I wouldn't get a second one. But if I didn't, then that would also be in the running. For sure. I actually like I kind of like how on this one, the Mechameleon is the entire keyboard, whereas on the Synovia it was silver bottom. I kind of like it full. Although with how the Synovia is designed, I think the half and half looked better. All right. Done. Now the stabilizers. All right. What's Mechamillion? It is a Cerakote color shift. You can see the pictures on the landing page. The tarnished alloy, the X23 was good. I mean, that's kind of similar to what this is. That's what the goal is. This is nice little box here. Stabilizer cutouts for different lengths. I like that. Oh, MX6. I see. Nice box. Hello, Feedy. STRN is gorgeous. I agree. Can't decide color. I really like the meteorite, but the Pastille. Ooh, they're very different. Those are very different. Do I know if STR did the secret 65? I honestly don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, there's the Dino was good on that one. I don't know who made that one. Okay, if somebody could help me here. What do I lube on this? I think I have to put a lot of lube right here, right? But I want to use like dielectric grease. I put lube here and here, right? How does it color shift? No, just like how you look at it because of the sparkles. And then I think I put lube on here and here, right? 205, is that right? Oh, thank you, Gorkus. Oh, it's almost like they made a guide for this on purpose. I didn't know this was done. Last time I built it wasn't done yet. This looks great. All right. Lube there. Done. Oh, it says to lube the stabilizers after installing them. Okay. I'll do that. Yeah, Lightning showed the colorway off nicely yesterday. Alright. Oh, does this go in? No, it does. It goes this way. Okay. I really love the idea of this keyboard and how many options there are. If only it were 75. Yeah. I mean, it's based off the Gehirn TKL. So maybe you'd like that, but that didn't have all the, that only had MX. All right, let's go down the list here. Only integrated plate. Skip for integrated plate. Okay. All right. What do we do? We lubricate the 205. 4 corners of 205. Okay. Okay. And then I don't have 206, but I think last time I used dielectric and it was pretty good. So then under and above wire clips with 206. So that would be here. I understand that you have to choose plate depending on whether you want 6U or 7U. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Now lubricate this part. Oh, I'd have to put the silencing rings on these first. So the silencing rings just go right over this. Like so. And then put, oh, this outer wall is 205, okay. Oops. Okay. 205, and then 206 on the inside areas. Okay. And then we put the wire in. Like that. Which I actually don't think I got enough. Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay. So then this goes like this. And then we just drop this in here like so. Oops. I like that. There we go. Is the silencing ring still on there? Should probably check. No, fell off. Don't know where it went. Let's try that again. Okay. That's not right. Two-sided, ah, that'll do it. There we go. Okay, that's one done. Is there a reason why this DynaCap is blue versus red? I think this is just, Clever said these were samples colors. The final one might not match this colorway. The final DynaCap parts. In the group I mean. This is just what I was sent by Mr. Clever. Okay, so there's that, and then we put this here, and here, silencing ring. Hello, Clever. Hopefully I do this right in front of the designer. Also, if you guys didn't notice, there's a cute little Clever logo hidden in the bottom of the stem. Just notice that right there. Do any of the kits come built? The Raka kit comes built, but not with, just without keycaps. You'll just need to add your own keycaps. All right, now we're doing the spacebar. Okay. Also, I'm referencing the DynaCap guide here. I'm not going to put it on the screen because it'll cover what I'm doing, but if you guys are wondering what I'm looking at, it's available on the DynaCap website. Let's add. All right, so first up we lube the housing. So we put slider rails with 205, and then the wire clip is the dielectric. Okay, I can do that. I think this will be probably the slowest part. After this we get to put the domes and stuff. All right, so all of this is 205. Here. Okay. What is Raka? Raka is the HE kit, which Raka is a maker, pretty much, based in China, and they make the Raka Atlas PCB. Is the 60% PCB, and that is what will be part of the kit. And they also have the Raka Mobius switches, which is what it comes pre-built with. Okay. Okay. Put a bunch of lube in here. That looks pretty filled to me. Then we hook this. Hook the end of the wire into the closed loop of the stabilizer sliders. Okay. Lower the slider into the housings. And then hook it in. Okay. There we go, and then press that down. Oops. Ta-da, and hope it doesn't tick. The Mobius switches are the WS flex colors. Yeah, pretty much. They are purple and black, I think, is the Mobius. Alright, now, well, this part isn't going to be as very much fun, but we put all the silencer rings on the sliders. So let's do that. Then we get to play with domes and springs. This is where I'll pull this out, I think. Maybe I should modify this file. Oh wait, oh, it does sit nicely. Okay. Actually, I probably should have printed 2 more of these. Whatever. Alright, so then you just slide the silencing rings onto the sliders, and then they just drop right into the housings. Like so. Will the kit be available after Group I? Do you mean the DynaCap? Or just the Gehirn60 in general? I think the DynaCap extras would just depend how they do in the Group I, pretty much. So if they sell a lot in the Group I. Normally, extras are kind of just a calculated percentage of the Group I sales, so. But I would be surprised if there was 0. Because I think people seem pretty excited about the DynaCap. Especially if this build turns out like I think it will. They are cute DynaCap colors. I spent $150 on those Studio Flux switches and never use them. Damn. This could be your chance. $150. You could almost bought the whole Raka kit for the Gehirn. I did see those switches are expensive though. It is good deal, and it's all built already. Comes with that cool RGB PCB. I should buy some pudding keycaps for it. They're pretty funny. Put pudding keycaps in a buy on board. So, I guess this stream shows you how much longer EC takes than MX. But at the same time, I don't know that it is actually longer because you normally have to move switches in advance. Not always, I guess, but with some switches. So if you factor that in, if I was to get ready like 60 MX blacks, it might not actually be that much longer to do all this stuff, to be honest. But I guess just make sure you have a few hours. To me, this is fun. Part of the fun of building the keyboard is actually doing the stuff. So I'm happy to do it. I would say about the same. Yeah, I think so. But this kind of, it feels like a little bit like building Legos or something. So I like it for that. I wouldn't want the build to go too fast. Yeah, I agree. You gotta enjoy doing this stuff. It's like people talk about they're excited to exit the hobby. And that's always kind of weird to me because you're, I don't know, it's like a hobby you're supposed to enjoy being in the hobby. And like being in the hobby doesn't even necessarily just mean buying stuff. Like you can not buy stuff and still have a fun time in the hobby. A single round for this? Most likely. Most likely just one round, yeah. I mean, unless it sells really well and there's a lot of demand. But if you want one, I would recommend going for this one. Probably best off asking Omnitype or Bauer or DynaCap about the Bauer stuff. Can't say I have all the answers for that. I thought they sold it all together, but maybe I'm wrong. Thank goodness. Thank goodness you have the answers for us. Oh, I see. Are pink pieces homemade? Pink. Yeah, I just 3D printed them. There's like a file in Maker's World or whatever. I just 3D printed them there. Took like 40 minutes or something. I didn't design it, but they're free online. Yeah, this is where they work well for this job. I think I would print probably 2 more though. I think I probably should have done that. I don't know why I only printed 2. I think it would be much easier with 4. So I don't know why. That was kind of dumb. Because it kind of tips like this, which duh. So I'll probably print 2 more for next time I build a DynaCap. Or if I mess with this one. Alright, we're slowly getting there. What 3D printer to use? I have a Bamboo X1C. I should have saved some of the yapping for now, from the start. Now I feel like I ran out of stuff to talk about while I do this. Do you guys have any questions for me? What domes am I using? There we go, that's a good question. 52 gram. Which they say 52 gram proto on the box. Mr. Clever sent me. The springs are just, yeah, the domes is what determines the weight. The springs are literally just the actuation thing, pretty much. Hey, Bo, will there be any extras of oblique, specifically linen? I'm a bit confused on how the pre-orders. Oh yeah, that's a good question. So the obliques, there was some in stock and some pre-order because not all of them arrived to me at the same time. So I had the in-stock ones were the ones that are here and ship on the normal 1 to 2 business days. And then the pre-order were ones that were on the way. So, but now I have them all on hand. So I just need to update the listing, but I need to go to the warehouse and count the final amounts because I think there's a few that aren't listed, but I don't think any of them are linen. But that will be updated over the weekend, and they'll all be in stock then. So even if you ordered a pre-order one right now, it would ship Friday. I just need to update the listing. Now is not a good time for cat treats, no. They would come and knock all this stuff over. If you could experience any keyboard again to relive the experience, what would it be? That's a good question. Like one that I really like typing on? What does the spring come with the kit? It's the conical springs uncoated steel. Yeah, again, what would that's interesting, because like I have all the keyboards. Do you mean like ones that I've typed on a meetup maybe? What are your thoughts on the Onyx switches for the oblique? I should be receiving mine tomorrow and trying to figure out what switch to use. I think that'd be great. That's a great combo for it, especially on like aluminum or something. I'm assuming there's no second round of the oblique anytime soon. There could be some more coming. Maybe a little leak there. Not the same color. They're not like immediately coming, but none of the same colorways. Sure, typing under nostalgia or whatever. Oh, okay. Actually, there's one. I sold a prototype of a weird mounting design I did that I would like to have back. The pre-OC62. Imagine the cat comes on. Yeah, exactly, Alquan. That would be a nightmare. An absolute nightmare. How's Motif doing? Keyboard's doing well. We're waiting on the keycaps mostly. The only other thing in production is the switches. They're in production, entering production now. Took a while to get KeyGeek on the on those, but then they'll be assembled, and I think the current estimate from GMK is Q2, so that's when they should be shipped, but the keyboards are done. Got an aluminum plate, but also thinking about using larges. That'd be good too, for sure. Mega Man does kind of look like that, with how it changes in the light when you look at it differently. It's true. I got them bootleg blue sliders. Hey, it's just whatever Clever sent me. I do like them though. They look nice. My Pangea Mini with larger stop me using from Cycle 8. Yeah, you gotta show it some love still. But I'm glad you like your Pangea Mini. You get the 52 gram domes? I did, yeah. That is what I'll be using. Oh, nice. Wait, just Beachy already shipped? Dang. Used to be anti-60, but recently got an ARC 60 for 120. Well, that's a steal. But yeah, 60s are the best. Once you start using them, you fall in love. I actually don't know what color these domes are. Let's see. I don't know if they're red too. So I'm curious. I'm gonna take a peek. Oh, they're also blue. Oh, I did look earlier. Duh. Do you have any tadpole mounted keyboards in the production pipeline? Yes, or out? Like, do you mean like tadpole, like Gehirn tadpoles, or survival style? Because Gehirn's tadpoles are not the same in that they fully isolate the plate. In that one, they'll still hit the plate, still hits the top case. So just to clarify, but the if you really like the GS, the Pangea full size, well, I guess that's already done. Well, and the Synovia is already done, but those both had it. Actually, in the Manta. But I would use it again. Nothing right now has it. Nothing like coming up right now. I just call them grommet gaskets, I guess, but oh, the Lienzo, which will be a pretty new project, will have it. Same as the GS, so if you like that, I think you'd like the Lienzo. That'll be mid this year, I think, or mid-ish. I think it's prototyping now. Also a 60. But you just missed the Synovia, which is a TKL, which had that same mounting style. There'll be extras of that. Will you offer Venom PCP for this? Yes, Venom. You can buy the Venom as an add-on. So if you want to do that, you'd want to buy the bare bones kit and then buy the Venom PCB as an add-on. I didn't make it a whole separate listing just because I already have 4. So yeah, you can get the Venom. The only PCB that we're not selling that works with it is the wooting. So you can pick the plate and then buy the wooting module separately and then put it on there. The other day you were typing on Gehirn F40. How do you like it? Man, I don't know if I can get used to it, honestly. Like, I don't know that I would design one because I'm having trouble getting used to it. I think it just doesn't flow well with what my workflow. You'd still need to pick up screws. No. If you buy a Venom PCB, it'll come with the screws. Yeah, exactly. No numeral makes it difficult. How does it feel to be the fastest gun in the West when it comes to answering on multiple servers? I try. I guess I just frequent the same couple Discords. But I do like answering questions. Does this just use the EC60X? I mean, pretty much. Technically it's the DynaCap 60% PCB. But it's also designed by Sipulat. I'm not sure about the exact changes or if it's really any different. But it's the DynaCap EC60. Also made by Sipulat though, so. But I'm using the EC60X for this prototype build. I could get used to 40 XT, I feel. But not a normal 40. I like how XTs like look, but I never end up using the XT columns, honestly. I was expecting gold 40. No, I don't know. Maybe someday. I don't know. I don't want to say never, but I'm not sure. Okay, last slider. So now we get to do the domes, and then I think after that's my least favorite part, which is the springs. Is cryogenesis using polycarb? It uses acrylic. The black two use DynaCap? They are. Alright, someone to get scissors. I think I have some over here. I'm just gonna lay out the full size sheets first and then cut what's necessary at the end. Oops. Kind of down to try any new switch. Onyx or Y3? I prefer Onyx personally. They're deeper. I don't really have an opinion on DN work except that I heard he was complaining about DCS nerve, so that stinks. I've never bought any boards from him, so I don't know. Probably not the best person to ask about this. Right, these three here, single ones here, here. We need 2 more singles. Am I complaining? He was saying it was expensive. That we were overcharging. Because I think he was running a different key set at the same time that was cheaper, but at the MOQ, doing the custom neon color added like $40 per kit or something like that. Because it's like $2,500 for a custom color. So, it was pretty unavoidable. Put this here. Sounds like you are not a fan, huh? I mean, I don't care what people charge for keyboards. It's just a weird marketing strategy to lash out at other people also running stuff, I guess, to me. I asked this a while back, but don't recall what your intro was. Are you expecting extras for DCS Nerve? Yep, there'll be some extras. Not a ton. When you did the Gehirn in HE, did you like feeling? Yeah, I mean, it felt pretty much the same as MX. Except, honestly, the HE switches were smoother. They're just super smooth, so. But it wasn't really different feeling, I guess. Okay. Time for springs, and to really try not to drop this. Am I supposed to oil the springs? I don't remember. Oh, I am. Okay. Let's see. Let's put some oil. Let's put it in here. Happy to see a fellow Gatoron Switch enthusiast amongst all the HMX Hype Monopoly. I do love Gatoron. Gatoron and Cherry are my go-to. Oh, it's too late. What keycaps am I gonna use? I have GMK Mars Cadet, DCS, Bold Blanks. I don't have that many 6U bars somehow. I found it interesting bouncing between servers that there are those that only use vintage sets and boards, some that only use DCS or GMK and collectors, different flavors in this tiny hobby. It is fun. Why are you gonna be banned? Yeah, the new Key Geek's pretty nice. Yeah, sadly the intros are one time. As Manu said. Where's my tweezers? They're there. What colors do I have on end? I have pastel and blue and cryogenesis. So I'll show them again at the end here. Oh, these, I remember this being such a pain with the last DynaCap. I know there's not really a way to get around it, but man, it's a pain in the butt. Is there a fast way to get these undone? I'm sorry, Manu. Go to sleep. You can watch the VOD. Oh, I see. Oh, you're taking it. I see. I'll probably do both DynaCap, or I'll probably do both DCS and GMK. Dude. If I ever finish separating all the springs. What mounts really suit an EC sound profile? I guess it depends if you're using like silence or not. I think like top mount works well. It has to be pretty stiff. Or it ends up being pretty stiff anyways because of all the screws between the plate and PCB that are necessary for the EC to read correctly. So otherwise I don't really have enough experience with it to, like, I haven't tried a lot of different mounting styles with it, you know? I do, yeah, top mount isn't my favorite for MX, to be honest. I'd rather do something more fun. I mean, I'll use it. More than 100 people, you famous streamer. Wow. Thank you guys for being here. Am I famous? Does this mean I'm famous now? I'm so sorry, I just realized I was like staring at these springs for a long time and not reading the chat. You liked gathering lanes to top mount. Maybe I'll have to try it. Too stiff or sound wise? I think sound. I don't mind the stiff feeling of top mount, but the sound wise is what I don't love. If I get banned from the Discord server, will you get what? I don't know what's going on in the Discord server, but as long as you're respectful, you won't get banned. Here. But no, it doesn't like auto ban you from both. Okay, Jeff. I mean, unless Jeff says you deserve to get banned. I'm now a Keybfluencer. Feels good. Feels good to be a Keybfluencer. Oh, sorry. I think you asked this before already, Grizzly, didn't you? But I missed it. On average, how many protos do you commission on a board before finalizing it? Honestly, 1 or 2. Usually what I do is I'll get 1 rapid prototype. So like the Deacon here it's a rapid prototype, which basically means it's cheap, fast, and bad quality. And then use that as like a test fit, and then make any small adjustments that need to be made, and then make the high quality production quality prototypes to use for content. So yeah, I guess it would be like 2, but normally I spend a lot of time doing the designing so that I don't need to spend time and money prototyping, because prototyping is expensive and takes a long time to wait. So I try to be efficient and do a lot of double and triple and quadruple checking on CAD before doing an actual prototype. So yeah, I'd say 1 to 2 typically for me nowadays. When I started, it was more because I didn't know what I was doing, and that's totally fine. But as you get better, you don't need as many prototypes. Like, I don't think needing a lot of prototypes is really a good thing. I think it's usually a bad thing, because it means you didn't do something right the first time. So I try to keep it down. How many final modes do I have? 2. He only needs 1 or none. He is not confident in himself. Synovia had no that's true. Synovia. That's true. I mean, usually I know what I'm doing. Your first board should be 15 prototypes and you should sell it at cost. Yeah, if you don't lose $20,000 on your first keyboard run, you're doing it wrong. Boomerang had like 8, Liminar said. I think he was making pretty small adjustments between iterations, right? That's an easy way to get a lot of prototypes, is if you just make small adjustments each time, which can be a good way to test A/B test. Like if you want to see what one specific feature does, you know what I mean? Like if you make a big weight in one prototype, like if you change too many things in a prototype, you don't know what actually fixes the problem you're having. So if you want to do it that way, then having more prototypes is definitely better. And I remember he changed the mounting style a few times to try and dial it in, so I think that leads to getting a lot of prototypes. Plus, like, it's a new layout and all that stuff, so I think that gets an excuse for having more prototypes. But like for me, like if I need like 6 prototypes for the Synovia, I'd be pretty disappointed in myself. Because just it's a TKL. I've designed a lot of TKLs. Other people have designed a lot of TKLs. I didn't mean to. I wasn't trying to shit on anybody for needing a lot of prototypes. Oops. The worst feeling is when you do get a prototype in and like the problem with it isn't like a static or anything. It's like a stupid functional mistake that's like, oh, I can't believe I just did that. Because then you have to waste a bunch of money and time getting a new one made. And it's like just stupid. Any word on getting some cherry clip-ins again? Honestly, I have the housings. I just can't find a good source of 7U wires. I need to do some more digging. Are you allowed to say how much you've invested into your brand to get to where you are now? I mean, I'd be allowed to, but I don't know. Like a dollar amount, I assume you mean? There was never really like a upfront investment because I started doing really small like friends and family runs that had like very little profit. Like maybe they would cover my unit or like my unit and the prototypes or something like that. Like, but it's not like I came in and invested like 50K and was like, all right, I'm doing this, you know? It was more of just like reinvesting all the money I made from every run into the new stuff. Like for like the Pangea full size was kind of the first, honestly, like the first like keyboard that actually made a little bit of money after paying for prototypes and everything. And I used that to like buy the first lounges and like that kind of stuff to get in stock products. So instead of like, so I could have like obviously used the money for something else, but I knew I wanted to start doing keyboards full time, so I knew I had to invest every dollar I could back into it. And that same thing with commissions, I guess. When I used to do design commissions, that was also another big booster of how I was able to start the brand. Was just reinvest all the money from design commission clients to new prototypes and stuff like that. That's pretty much it. Best moves to make no prototypes and make no keyboard. Yeah. Definitely the easiest way to do it. Has it ever been the case where you like to prototype more than the final product? Not your own boards. I haven't really tried many other prototypes. I mean, I guess there's been times where like people change the mounting or something like that where I was like, oh, I actually like the original. But no, I wouldn't say so. Or nothing comes to mind, I guess. Get the hiccup. What made you want a vendor? Oh, well, I kind of, when I was doing the design commissions and doing the small runs and just runs in general, I was like, you know, this is pretty fun. I ended up liking the logistics side of stuff more than I thought I would have. And then I kind of was like, well, I already have some of the tools and like the experience and contacts and stuff like that. And then when I started working with Manu, it originally wasn't as me as a vendor. He was just going to work with me as a designer basically for him. Not for him, for his vendors to vendor my stuff. But then I was like, what if I was just a vendor and you come work for me in that way? And then we started doing that. And I just kind of knew I liked the logistics side of it. I liked working with customers. I liked designing. So it gave me, it was like a way to make keyboards a full-time job because I wouldn't have made near enough money to do it full time if I was just designing stuff. There's just not enough money in it. Like, I don't know anybody that does it full time. Maybe there are. I don't know though, because yeah, there's just not enough money in it to support yourself full time. So that's why I was like, well, it seemed like becoming a vendor was the only option to make it full time, and I already liked most of the added work, so I was like, okay, let's try it. And then with Manu's help, I was able to do it. I wouldn't be able to do it alone though, for sure. I'd need Manu's help. Okay, Scar, this is, you asked about getting banned in Twitch, and this is how you get banned here also. So just leave it alone, man. I'm glad you convinced me. I'm glad I convinced you too. Does the post office say hi, Bull, when you walk in? They say, actually no. When I went there today, they're like, how many today? That was the first thing they said. So they definitely know me. How many today? Yep, exactly. And then, so what I do is I go in the front and bring them like the scan form so that they can scan them all in at once. And then they're like, all right, pull, and then I pull around to the back so that I can just load them straight into one of the big boxes instead of carrying them all into the lobby, because they don't want to take 50 boxes in right at the lobby. So yeah, that's what becoming a vendor is. I think you have a unique situation where you're doing both designer and vendor though, so that's really cool. Yeah, it kind of, the designer came first, and then it was like, how can I do this more? And it's like, okay, gotta be a vendor also. So then I was like, okay, let's do it. And here I am. But I think it's the best of both worlds, because if you're a designer, you don't normally make that much money. Like, there's not enough profit for everybody. Like, for context, like, this is, I guess, being pretty transparent, but the royalties I make from group buys from other vendors is not very much. Would not pay the bills. Definitely, it barely covers prototypes typically. At least on some runs. So that's why I was like, okay, becoming a vendor is the way to go. Does your car fit everything, or do you need more trips? There's a lot of times where I need multiple trips. On a typical day, it's all easily fits in one trip. But like, if I'm fulfilling group buys, like Pangea Mini took 3 trips, Oblique took 3 trips, Pangea took 4. So it definitely is. It definitely tests the patience, I guess, just driving back and forth. But do you have as many issues with USPS on your end as I seem to on my end? I can't stand UPS, but USPS is the worst. In terms of like delivery, or like at the post office? Where do you see the future of keyboard design going? Designs need to evolve. In what areas do you see this happening? I think like this kind of stuff where we integrate more EC and HE into more designs, I think is kind of where it goes. Personally. I don't really have too many issues with USPS. It's time for a minivan upgrade. Right now I have a Civic, so anything would be an upgrade in the area. No, I don't have a truck. I have a Honda Civic. Delivering just BS issues? Oh no, not really. And like I honestly did have to like kind of shop around for a good USPS because most of the ones here wouldn't take bulk packages. They were just like too understaffed and they were like, we can't help. So I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? So I have to drive 20 minutes out of town to a smaller town to drop off in bulk because they're not as understaffed and don't have a huge line every time you go inside. So yeah, that was kind of the only big pain. Is that the last screw finally? Oh no, there's one more there. Isn't USPS literally government? No, it's not. Haven't bought the Porsche with group buy funds yet? No. I have not bought stuff I shouldn't buy with group buy funds. And I definitely can't afford a Porsche. Get a camper van? That would be sick. I mean, it is true. USPS is like subsidized. Like it's not profitable, but like it's also not supposed to be. It just doesn't really break even. And that's the point. Like that's where like the whole point of government funded stuff is, or government subsidies, is that essential services are funded regardless without needing to like overcharge. I think I got all the holes. Oh, nope, that one. One there. I work next to a USPS office and they hate us. Why do they hate you? Will that one even do anything? Let's see. That hole might be bigger than the screw head. Yeah, it is. Alright, so that one's just gonna have to not be screwed in. This, I don't think, or this is because it's a prototype. Or not the actual DynaCap PCB, this is the EC60X. But there it is, it's all built. All right, I can finally get into the case after 2 hours, 2.5 hours. This is the longest I've ever taken to build a keyboard, I think. Now keycaps, I want to see, what time is it, Manu? Like 3 a.m., 3:30? I think we need to take an hour or so to decide what keycaps to do. 4:30? Holy crap. That is very late. Where did I put the steam packs? Did anybody see where I put those? Oh, it's up here. Here it is. Dude, that's so random. Is Pastille top true HHKB? The one I have is wing keyless. So I can't pop this build into there. Okay, feet in. And I'll do the daughter board quick so that Manu can go to sleep. Though I have to take the case off. Can you show Skeleton for me to get more feedback? Yeah, while I unscrew the case so we can look at this. Where is it? Here it is. Bro, the resolution's so bad, but there it is. Cryo is so tempting. I want Mech a Million, but dude, if you get both, you could mix them, Scrambler. Check DM. Okay, 1 second menu. Okay, guys, what do you want feedback on, Manu? Manu wants feedback, but I don't know on what. Okay. There. It doesn't. It's just as bad. It's even worse. What the heck? Oh wait, there we go. There. One U Alt GR for the. Yeah, why is it Alt GR instead of Alt? That's a good question. I like this hardware here. Torque's spirally looking. It's nice. It's nice, nice, nice. Alright, so this is the little stainless steel internal weight here, as you can see, and then we'll run the daughter board. Plug this guy in. Could you explain it? Oh yeah. Yep. 1 second. After I put this in, I'll explain it. Basically, well, I'll just do it. But basically it's a USB port. So like picture, it's the same thing here where it's a daughter board and then a ribbon cable runs like this and then ends in a USB port. So then you just plug the USB port in. So like if you had a PCB like this one where it still has the USB right there, you just plug it in. So actually if I was using this PCB, I wouldn't need to even use a JST. So that you'd use that for booting or any like Gehirn60 style PCB where it has a USB-C mounted to the bottom of the PCB there, in that location specifically. Oh, bro, I'm stupid. Yeah, it's all Manu's fault. No, but okay. So basically, it has a daughter board here, and then it has a ribbon cable that goes like this, and then up and ends in a USB-C port, and then so then you just plug the USB-C port in to like that. So like, and then it just sits like this, and then it runs. So there you go. Then you can use any PCB with a port there in the case. Professional streamer, yeah, you can tell. Very professional. put a little extra of this back here. Stick this in there. Really helped, and I'm glad to hear it. Bro, I wasn't even reading the chat when you guys were telling me you couldn't see. That's crazy. What's the front height? 17. Dude, I'm excited to finally get this built and see it. Alright, now we gotta put the plate in here. Hopefully this fits. Just kidding, it will. Alright, we need the top mount screws. I can see my bed looking at me. Bro, stay up. It's almost ready. You don't need to sleep. Might have just crossed through that. Oh no, we're good. Any keyboard goals for 2026? Make more cool keyboards. That's pretty much it. Bro, Scar, please stop repeating what everybody's saying. One more. Do you have a planned number of releases for this year? Not exactly. All right. Fits together, that's a good sign. Oh wait, I forgot. I might have to take those out. I forgot to make a cutout in the plate over here for this case screw. Oh, I do. Sorry, Manu, you have to stay up a little longer. I have to put that case screw in there before I can put that in. Because I messed up. That is my bit. The production won't have that issue, by the way. Do I have pastille I can show? Yes, I'll show it after I'm done putting the keycaps and everything in this. I'll show them all again at the end. Alright, I just have to do this quick. Alright, so I have to put this here. If I put this like this, and then put this in, it'll hold it. There we go. Okay. Guys, this will not be a problem for the group I just messed up for the prototype, that's all. But it's still buildable. Just a bit more annoying. Yeah, okay. Please chill a little bit. Is Synovia in production? We'll be entering production shortly. Okay, now this should work. Let's try this. I'm gonna pull some of the slack, put it up here. There we go. Okay. Now I can put the case screws in. There we go. And with this being acrylic, I'm not gonna go crazy tightening the screws in. There's no real reason to do that ever, but oh yeah, the plate was just I forgot to make a cutout when I was designing the plate, so that's my bad. All right, finally. Looks good. Just gonna put this. Bro, stop. No, stop. You're gonna get us in trouble. Okay, keycaps. It's time. I think this has a 6U bar. Where's my keycap? MTNU, please. I don't know that I have any MTNU with 6U bar, so we'll try GMK first. Or CYL, I guess. In EC build, is plate going to have a similar effect on sound like MX build? I don't think so. You can't really use soft plates with EC. So this will be only available as stainless steel. Because you have to be able to tap the plate. You have to be able to thread into the plate. So only metals can do that. Have you seen the Steel Prism 60? I have. I've seen it. Yeah, this is the Mantor. Thoughts? I'm definitely not gonna buy it. At that price, it's barely above cost, if at all. And if something goes wrong, if the runner doesn't have the funds to fix it, you're just kind of SOL. I mean, I don't know the vending and stuff. That's just my thoughts. I'm gonna skip it. I mean, feel free to go in on it. Seems like a good price if you get the product, but I just don't know how the quality will be and that kind of stuff. It's not worth it for me to buy. If I know if I buy a cheap board like that and like say the quality's bad, and even if it's supposed to be bad and it ends up being bad, I just know I won't want to use it, so it's never worth it for me to buy. Is this top mount? Yeah, this is only top mount. Good evening, Bollingsworth. That's crazy. That's a new one. Bollingshire? Bollington? Damn. Also, this looks great on here, by the way. At least I think so. It took me a while to really dial in what I know I won't use. Yeah, I agree. But like for me, I know like if I look at it and the quality looks bad, I'm never gonna want to touch it. Which maybe the quality would be great. I'll have to see if they show prototypes and stuff, but That's my only take on that. Oh yes, this set even has 1.25 or 1.5U system keys. Perfect. We can get the true EC HHKB experience. Okay, look at that. Duke both on. It's crazy. Just curious, I assume for more support for EC and stuff, but why not added O-ring support? Then it wouldn't fit with the wooting. So pretty much just trying to get everything to be compatible. It is easy to do with top mount, that's true. But yeah, for the support. Alright. Here it is. Looks pretty amazing, I think. You could probably, that's true. But there it is. I love how this looks. Now let's see it with LEDs. Menu, stay awake, stay awake. Okay, we have LEDs. That's a good sign. Let's pull up. I think I have to calibrate the PCB here. Show that to make this smaller. So, EC tools, calibration. How do you do this? I forgot. Does anybody know how to calibrate it? Actually, it might say in the guide. Plug in, go to VIA, open layout options, and select layout options. Oh wait, okay, I'll do that first. Layout, split backspace, split, bottom row is 6U, HHKB. Right shift is split. Okay, now go to the EC tool and click on calibration. Turn on bottoming and bottom out every key on your keyboard. And then turn off. Okay. EC tools. Calibration. Bottom calibration. Turn that off. Okay. Do I care about any of this? I don't think so. Let me just change this stuff. Control Alt Win. Fine. Backspace. This. Up. Okay. Let's key tester. Okay, it works. Look it up. Oh yeah. Okay. Actually, let me make this. I should remove mod tilde, shouldn't I? Also, wait, before I do this. Oh, the weights block some LEDs, I guess. Let's make it like orange though. Except the orange. There. Okay. Let's hear it. ECPCB says undergo. Yes, it does. 160 words per minute. I doubt it. We'll see. Alright, so this is DynaCap. 52 gram domes on stainless steel plate and the Gehirn60 with GMK keycaps. Wait, let me move this closer. Oh, it is silenced also. Turn the lights off. Well, I have a huge light over there. I'll turn it off after this. Uh-oh. How's it feel? It feels really good. I like this weight, or this dome weight is really good. I like it better than the lights. I didn't like the lights. How's it? Oh, how's it feel? How's the weight dome? Oh, I just changed it too. Yeah, it sounds pretty good. I did good lubing the stuff actually. Good night, Manny. Sleep nice. What weight are these? These are 52G. Okay, let's do some more sound tests though. I've never tried EC. Do they feel as mushy as they sound? No. EC, it doesn't have like a mushy bottom out like Silent MX switches. It's got like a, I don't know. It's hard to describe. It's kind of one of the things you have to try. How does it compare to regular HHQB? I think it sounds cleaner, honestly. And more consistent. I like how consistent it sounds, actually. Feel wise, it has a stiffer bottom out. It's more, feels more like a real force since it's stainless steel. Stabs hunger. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I mean, yeah, it's thuddy. It's EC. All right, let's do one more sound test, and then maybe I'll switch to DCS. Didn't like EC sound at first, but then I got one and absolutely love them now. Do I have CRP? I do have CRP, but no 6U bar. How would DynaCap sound in an alu case? I'll be sending a DynaCap kit to a content creator with an aluminum case, so you will get to hear that. It won't be huge though, since it's silenced. But I will be, a content creator will be covering it. But this sounds really good, actually. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say I love the sound. Like, I'm not gonna use this sound over a MX, but it sounds better than I thought. I thought it would be like, I don't know. It like sounds crisper and feels crisper than I expected, in a good way. Oh man, I would have had a personal best there maybe. It sounds right up there with the Blue Ridge. Yeah, they're both plastic cases, that's true. Do the domes come in different hardnesses? Yes, yep. So there's 52 gram, or no, right now they have light, medium, and heavy. And I think they're testing new ones. But the nice thing is you can always, they'll sell those so you can buy them and change them later, and it's a relatively affordable change. So I think it's really nice. You'll be able to change the feeling. All you have to do is change the domes. So it's a nice thing about EC is a small change can make the keyboard feel completely different. Are those medium? I think they're close. They're 52G, it says. Alright, let's turn all the lights off here. Well, it's not all the lights technically, but get a pretty good idea. Oh wait, I can turn this on. There's the underglow. Pretty fun. Definitely see the underglow more, and it looks much more better diffused when you have the lights off. Ooh, look at my face. Come on, camera, adjust. There we go. Intimate. Medium is 45, these are 52. Yeah, I think this is like in between. Holy bowl, yeah. Alright, do you guys want to hear... I know the stream's already been 3 hours long, but do you guys want to hear DCS on it? Because I kind of do. Also, I want to check if DCS Nerve has 6U. I don't remember. Oh, let me check here. Did we see the other colors? Oh, that's true. That too. I'm on it. I just want to check if DCS Nerve has. If DCS Nerve has it, I'll use that. It doesn't. Okay, so we'll use DCS Bowl Blanks then. Let me go grab the stuff or the keycaps. But first, here's Pastille, which I'll leave these on the desk while I go so you can consider. Pastille. And lastly, this one's Anomaly. So there we go. Good night, Toya. Yeah, the coffee was worth making. But yeah, there you go. Here's the, and that's like in direct lighting, like you can kind of see like this is more natural, but like I have lights here and here, so it's like right on it, but there you go. Any chance for DC? Wait, is this the same colors? Wait a minute. Where is my DCS nerve? It's over here. Is that the same? Wait. Am I crazy? No, it's not. It's not. Is it? Is this the same color? Wait. No, it's not. It's not. What color is DCS nerve? What color are the alphas though? Gum is the mods, isn't it? Or is gum the... Yeah, okay, no, that's not... Curious, this might not be the final color. The pastille is gonna be color matched to the mintish green color of GMK Divina Papaya. Okay, where is the... I can't tell if this is the same color. I don't think it is. Let's use DCS bowl blanks. This is my unopened set of bowl blanks. Somebody will have containment. I don't remember who, but it's out there somewhere. All right. What else? Okay. Oops, I put some of the keycaps back. Yeah, pastille with Divina Papaya would be perfect. Mugen built Anomaly, didn't he? The blue. This is the Gatoron 3-in-1 tool. So it's got a switch opener, keycap puller, and switch puller. Do you sell the tool? I don't, no. Finding it very hard to pass this one up, contemplating DynaCap, but with the gambling age option, but want to see more photos of it and can't find them anywhere. They're still out on the way to content creators. We'll have more pictures uploaded. But that's the one that ranges. The one on the landing page has pictures of an example of of Pangea mini samples. So you can see kind of how some example finishes would look. But Manu and Gian have streamed the Gambling Ages, Gehirn60, and Alex Sotos will be streaming it on Sunday. Oh, thanks for the follow. Just gonna put these keycaps on so I don't lose them. Uh-oh. I'm gonna try the Gamba Alu and see. Yeah, good luck. I mean, for me, I would be happy with any of the finishes, so I'm probably not the best person to ask about it because I don't think I'd be disappointed with any of them. Because the fun part is that they're random for me. How are those blue domes? I like them a lot. Manu's Gamble is also not coded. The group buy ones are coded and these production ones are coded, so you don't have that issue. Gion's stream is on YouTube. Manu's might still be uploading. Alright, there we go. How are the GMK Divina Papaya? Well, we don't have updates like since a few weeks ago, so I don't know exactly. It's selling okay. Not as well as the CYL for sure. So ideally it'll pick up a bit at the end here so we can get it made. Well, will extra price? Yeah, extras will be more expensive for Divina Papaya. Well, for any group buy, really. Do you know the MOQ for a keycap group buy? It totally depends on the manufacturer. And like what you want to price it at. Will you be offering the DynaCap kit as part of the EC kit? The EC kit is the DynaCap kit. Yep. So if you were to buy it, you'd get everything here except for the keycaps. I don't know why I just skipped that. I should have put this one there. Kind of bugging myself that I didn't. Which also, let's see. We're gonna do the arrows. For the blanks, is there any R1, R2, or no difference in alphas? No, they have rows. They're like normal keycaps, where they have different heights. Which these are in stock, just saying. If you like what you see, you can buy these keycaps. They're in stock. DCS bowl blanks. There's not that many kits left at all. SDBK, FTB, you mean SDBG? Yeah, it is. If this sounds good, I may grab a kit. Nice. I think it will sound pretty nice. All right. I've heard people have been liking DCS on DynaCap, so I'm anxious to hear it. I assume most people like PBT. Oh, I don't know. Actually, no. Yeah, MTNU found it. I might have to pick that up, to be honest. Might just have to. Alright. This looks pretty sweet. I feel like these keycaps are kind of made for this. Look at that. Oops. I mean, so clean. It's a cool design. It does, honestly. It's like the alien HHKB. Alright, let's hear how it sounds with DCS now. Except I think I should change the RGB first. Oops. Oh, whatever. DCS nerve keycaps. That's what I didn't have the page anymore, so it didn't have the wait. I took the page down, so I didn't have the kitting online anymore. Oops. Let's make this like, what should we do? Rainbow swirl? Yeah, rainbow swirl. Alright. Let's hear it with DCS. Is the accent blanks not in the kit? No, these are all included in the kit. There's also an extra yellow so you can put WASD RGBY. So yeah, this all comes with it. Yeah, I think we're gonna do a black braided JST for the group buy. Extra EC plates for Gehirn or Gehirn? No, you have to buy it as the DynaCap kit altogether. All right, so this is. Oh, it's about a half sultan. Nice. Oh, it's on the images? Really? I should fix that. Oh, yeah. Oops. I'll update that. This is what it comes with. This is what it comes with. That's my bad. But yeah, it comes with RGBY. And yeah. No update yet, no. But it comes with 2 yellows so that you can do WASD or HHKB rails. But since this is supposed to be HHKB, we're doing HHKB rails. But yeah, let's do the sound test now. So this is same build, 52G DynaCap on stainless steel, but with DCS this time. Does sound good. Alright, let's do one more. Oh, lots of 5 DynaCap or 5 VC builds. That's a lot. Clever doobie causing my walls pain. That's true. Can you turn the board around? Yes. No, here it is with that LEDs on. Wait, let's see this with them. Is this? Oh, this swirl's really slow. What's this one? Oh, this one's faster. Thanks for the sub. Do you have the containment on hand? No, sadly I don't. What other stuff is there? Oh, there's a lot of effects in here. Snake? That was pretty fun. Oh, that one's really fast. What's 6? Wow. Trying not to have a seizure. What's this? Night? What's the difference? Oh, I see. Christmas? Oh, I don't like that. Yeah, this is making me dizzy, honestly. There's gradients. Okay. Twinkle. I'm just looking at. Oh, that's pretty fun. It's a little fast though. Yuck. I think I like the rainbow swirl. Or this one. This one's nice. Rainbow mood. I like this one or this one. What about like a solid, like white or something? That's pretty nice too. Pink. Here, what if I turn like a little light on? There. Now you can still see the keycaps. But yeah. Raka has per key LEDs also, yeah, going up. But this is the EC does not. There's oh, it's so bright in my eyes. But there you go. Do you guys have any questions about this? Otherwise, that might be enough streaming. 3.5 hours. That was a long stream. Thank you guys for whoever stuck around. I appreciate it. What PCB options have LEDs? All of them except Venom, I think. So MX and EC have it. No, I don't have containment. OTYTY. Been here for about 3 hours. Yeah, this was a long stream. This is longer than the full collection stream. Hello, ABSTRD. How much is the regular mechanical bare bones with the blue case? $225. Wait, first I have to go weigh this. I promise to weigh it. I'll be right back. Okay, it's 1153 grams. 1,153 grams. You'll be picking 2 up. Hell yeah. Was it all one EC build? Yes, it was. I literally just built this. That's it. Okay, now can we see the EAT again? Oh, not today. It's buried right now. I think I'm gonna unfortunately have to send this to a content creator, but I'm excited for after the group buy when I get it back, because I'm keeping this one. Let's do one more sound test. Last sound test here. Oops. There we go. Does it will have done? Yes, it will have threaded inserts. Is there any main difference between acrylic and polycarbonate? Not really, in the keyboard functionality sense. But yeah, that's everything for this one. I'm gonna do an MX build either tomorrow or Friday, or on Friday. Not tomorrow, Friday. With MX in the anomaly case, the blue. Haven't decided the build yet. We'll see. We will see. But I'm excited to check it out. And then, yeah. I'll be sending these out to content creators, so there'll be a lot of content still coming at Alex Soto stream on Sunday. Lightning already streamed it. Gian already streamed it. Manu streamed it a few times. Did we show anomaly? Yeah, I did. Here. turn this up a little again. Here's the anomaly. It's more blue, that's for sure. The saturation is crazy on it. The spacebars in Bold Blanket is 6 and 7. Yes, it comes with both mangoes. I don't know if it's prettier. It's very different. It's very different. It's very blue, whereas Prussian blue is more teal. But yeah. Yeah, it's way more blue than the oblique. I should take a picture of those three, honestly, next to each other. Time to move the EC. Unfortunately, I can't because this is 7U and this is 6U. But there will be a 7U build. That's a good I should ask her. I will. Maybe XXW wants to build EC. I will do that. But yeah, that's it for today. Let's see if there's anybody to raid. Is there any keyboard people on? No. There's no keyboarders. Well, I'll raid the ducks. Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out for the whole 3.5 hours. And polycarbonate is less brittle. Acrylic is technically a little more brittle, but yeah, it is harder in terms of it doesn't scratch as easily. So it's like kind of like if you drop it. To me, if you drop a keyboard, it's gonna break either way. Oh, treats, good point. Oh, no, I can't treat. Come here. Oh, can you guys hear him? Or one of you guys come here. There. There's Grayson. Keep going. All right, there we go. See, this is why we wait. Now they're here. And they won't leave. They think they're still treats. Oh, wait, look at this. Hey, Grayson, come back. Grayson. Oh, she's mad at me. She wants to look for treats. Hi, Grayson. All right, let's go raid somebody. Okay, let's go raid the ducks. Oh, there's CJ too. CJ.